Very calculated, be very tight to the vest. Auston Matthews wasn't like that whatsoever, and you have to wonder, hey, what's going on here? Let's go, guys.
It may have something to do with all that conversation that we've been watching for the last couple of hours as the teams arrived here at First Niagara Center. And from the outset, they were trading information. The Toronto Maple Leafs making their way towards the podium to welcome Auston Matthews to the National Hockey League. Brendan Shanahan, you notice, is up on the stage this year. A year ago, he sat back and let his management group take the spotlight. You've got Lou Lamoriello up there along with Mark Hunter, who handles the scouting. Gary Bettman will welcome them and ask Lou to do the thing.
For Toronto's first pick of the 2016 National Hockey League Draft, we're going to have Director of Player Personnel make that selection, Mark Hunter.
Toronto proud to announce from Zurich, Men's League Switzerland, from U.S. program, Auston Matthews.
Americans have gone first overall before, but this is the first player that was raised in the Sun Belt.
Well, and that's what's interesting. Of the many interesting things about this young hockey player, aside from his skill and all his ability, he is representative of the next wave of American hockey players that are coming from Arizona, Colorado, Texas, California, places like that. There is a depth of talent in those cities, and why are they there? And Mike, you played down there. They're there because there's a lot of NHL players who stayed there and are training these young men.
And you talk about the poise he shows. Well, he's been around the Coyotes since he's about 14 years old. There's not that many NHLers that live down there in the summer, so come August, he'd be out there on the ice with all the NHL guys. He's been comfortable in their company for the better part of 4 or 5 years, which would help him when he goes over to Europe, which would help him when he goes to the draft interviews, and will help him when he gets on the ice next fall with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's played against these guys. He knows how good they are, how good he is relative to them, and he's going to fit right in.
Well, it's pretty cool that you go back to when he was a youngster and his late Uncle Bill and his father Brian took him to Coyotes games. Now he's got the opportunity to skate with Shane Doan throughout the course of the summertime, and a really fascinating story. This must have been ordained for him. His sister Brianna was to be induced. They had to wait an hour. Brian said, hang on, we got to get Auston Matthews on the ice for his skating lesson, but we'll get back to the birth of Brianna shortly.
That's a brand new sweater. No wonder he's having trouble pulling it on. That's the new look that the Toronto Maple Leafs will model in their 100th year. Auston Matthews, the plan comes together. They finished last, they won the lottery, and they get the first overall pick.
And I think that's a big part of this too for Toronto Maple Leafs and their long-suffering fans. This represents a changing of the narrative. Until now, for many years, it's what can go wrong is going to go wrong. Well, that changes now. They won the lottery, they got the best player in the draft, and this gives them a new beginning in Toronto they've desperately been trying to put together.
Sometimes you need a little bit of luck. No matter what they did, finishing last, getting the most ping pong balls, they still only had a 20% chance of landing this pick. At some point, you have to be a little lucky, and they were lucky on that lottery night to get him.
Back to Gary Bettman.
We have a couple of trades to announce.